Now available in paperback and Kindle Unlimited, The Man Crisis. Learn why so many men are struggling to find their way in an increasingly gynocentric world in The Man Crisis. Get your copy of The Man Crisis in paperback and Kindle Unlimited today.
With the rise of the incel movement of men, we now have a group of women calling themselves femcels. Now, these femcels say that they are women who are involuntarily celibate, and they are forced to become celibate because no men want to have sexual relationships with them, and no men want to pursue relationships with them. Now, I listened to the argument regarding these femcels, and just like the incel, I see it as just a gimmick that women are trying to use to draw attention to themselves. Now, when it comes down to this whole femcel argument, I don't believe it washes because women are oftentimes the ones who choose what men they have sexual relationships with, and they are the ones who choose what men they have relationships with. So no woman is involuntarily celibate because she is the one who chooses to pick up on the relationship after the man makes first contact. She is the one who oftentimes picks her partner, and because she is the one who picks the partner, this is why no woman can be involuntarily celibate. Now, when I look at this whole femcel argument from a critical perspective, I see what Sandman is talking about regarding the female chameleon. And in his classic video about female chameleons, he talks about how these women will change their colors to fit into a male space. And what these femcels are doing right now is changing their colors so they can enter the male space of incels. They know that they cannot get the attention of the men they actually want, and they can't get access to those men's resources due to the Me Too movement and these men then swallowing the red pill and deciding to go their own way. And because those men have decided to go their own way, what has happened is these women do not have access to opportunities at relationships with those top tier men they want to get involved with. So what they want to do is enter into this space of these incels, and they want to get these attention of these men. And how they get the attention of these men is by announcing that they are so-called femcels. And what most men need to understand about these so-called femcels is that these women are using something I call bait language. Now, bait language is something I talk about in my book, Misadventures of Captain Save-A-Ho. And what women do to get the attention of men who don't have very good social skills or a good understanding about female nature is they will use bait language to get their attention. And an example of bait language is when these women make a statement saying something like, "I can't find a good man. Where are all the good men at? I wish there was a good man to have a relationship with me." And what those women do with that bait language is they make this statement, and what they want to do is see how many of these beta males will come out here to make an effort to prove that statement wrong. And what these beta males come out here to prove that statement wrong, what they do is fail this woman's crap test. Because that's basically what bait language is. It's one big crap test to see if these men will come to pay her attention and then make efforts to pursue a relationship with her after making the bait language, and then make efforts to try to prove this woman wrong. And when they do that, what happens to those men is that woman gains leverage over them, and then they use that leverage to then take control over the relationship. And because the incel is an extremely inexperienced man with no real life skills, no real social skills, no understanding of female behavior or female nature, he will easily fall for the femcel gimmick. And what will happen when these women announce that they are femcels and they enter these incel social circles like these incel message boards or these incel forums, what will happen is these female predators will enter into these social spaces, and these men, what they will do is fail the crap test, try to make efforts to prove this woman wrong, and they will wind up getting taken advantage of by these women. Because when it comes down to these women who say that they are femcels, what they want to do again is invade those male spaces because they want opportunities to get access to those men's resources. And they want to get their attention, they want to get opportunities at relationships with these men, and oftentimes what they want to do is string these beta male orbiters along and then use them for whatever resources they have. And then when an opportunity at a relationship with a man they actually want to have a relationship with comes along, they then dump this incel to the curb, broke and bitter. And these guys, they don't understand what's going on here with these female chameleons. These female chameleons, what they want to do is have a place to rest their heads, want to have a place to get access to resources, and then once they see one of the men they actually want to have relationships with, they will go and monkey branch to that man. And the reason why they are going into these incel social circles is, again, this is them doing some classic monkey branching, and they want to go into this social circle of inexperienced men with no social skills because they know that they cannot get access to resources with the men that they want. They can't get access to sexual relationships with the men that they actually want to have relationships with. And many of these women, in some cases, have actually taken rides on the cock carousel. And what they want to do is take this step down in the hopes of monkey branching back up the ladder. Now, some of these femcels, what they will do is they may possibly have sex with some of these guys, but in most cases, what they want to do is string these guys along, get them to trick their money off on them, and then after they get them to trick off enough money and resources on them, then they will decide to look over at the men that they actually want and then make efforts to monkey branch over to those guys. And this is where a lot of guys get it really messed up because they think that this woman actually wants to have a relationship with them. And this is not what the femcel really wants. Again, the femcel is just as much a gimmick as the incel. And what the femcel is she's just a female looking to take that step down in order to take that step back up. She really can't get with the men that she wants, so she's going to try to get into this pool of beta males. And then after she gets into this pool of beta males, then she goes right back over to the men that she wants when they become available. And this is something that most men don't understand about this whole femcel gimmick. It's a gimmick that you have these women using to move themselves ahead. And a lot of these guys, again, because they don't have the life skills or social skills, they're going to get caught up in it because they fail the crap test as related to bait language. Because when a woman announces she's a femcel, again, that's just bait language. And you have to understand what bait language is so you don't fall for the game the femcel. And the incel himself, he falls for all of this stuff because, again, when it comes down to the incel, he does not want to go out here and do the work. The incel wants everything easy. He wants everything convenient. And this is why he is being targeted by these female chameleons who don't want to reveal their predatory nature. And these guys, again, they have a target and a bullseye on their backs. And the reason why they have that bullseye on their backs is because these beta males, again, they just don't want to put the work in, and they want to go towards the path of least resistance. And these femcels, what they're doing by announcing that they're femcels is creating a path to least resistance to these incels and giving them a path towards being taken advantage of. Now, the reason why these femcels are out here, again, is because they can't get the men that they want, and they're looking for a place to be around a group of men until those men become available. And many of these sad men out here, they're going to get taken advantage of by these femcels because many of these men just refuse to take the red pill, and they refuse to see the reality regarding female nature. And because they refuse to see the reality regarding female nature, they can't see the truth about these women. There is no such thing as a femcel because no woman is involuntarily celibate, because it is the woman who usually initiates first contact, usually with some nonverbal cues like an eye, like a smile or a look, and it is the woman who chooses to continue having contact once the man introduces himself, and it is the woman who chooses to give the man the phone number, the date, and possibly opportunities at sexual encounters with them. So how can a woman be involuntarily celibate? Because she is the one who, again, chooses the man she has sex with. Because even the fattest, ugliest, frumpiest woman is still going to get opportunities at sex with men, because when it comes down to these beta males, a lot of them will take anything that pays attention to them, and they have no standards. So there aren't really any femcels out there, because a woman, again, is the one who chooses who she has sexual relationships with. So when I listen to this whole argument of femcels, it is something that can easily be refuted. And whenever you hear women talking about how they are involuntarily celibate, then you have to see them as suspect, because usually in most cases, these are the women who have usually taken a ride on the cock carousel, or they are women who just aren't getting attention from the men they want to get attention with. And what they want to do, again, is have a safe haven to stay in, to get taken care of by these beta male orbiters, and they want to use this gimmick as a way to bait these beta male orbiters into thinking that they have some sort of shot with this woman, when in actuality they are being played by female predators who are using their female nature to take advantage of those who just don't understand what's going on as related to women and how they have relationships with men. If you want to learn more about the predatory behavior of women, I urge you to pick up my book, Misadventures of Captain Save-A-Ho, on Amazon.com in the Kindle format or on ebook format in the iBookstore and Barnes & Noble. And if you want to learn why so many men are suffering in an increasingly gynocentric world, I urge you to pick up my book, The Man Crisis, on Amazon.com. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.